Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with another episode of Understanding Thyself. And this episode is all about understanding my down days or my low points in life and how to shift my perspective from feeling low and negative and being able to embrace those feelings and shift the perspective from me feeling negative to now me feeling positive. So, for me personally, I have a lot of down days where, I might be feeling negative within myself, or maybe I'm just not feeling like progression is happening. Maybe I'm feeling, the sense of insecurity, of lack. Maybe I'm not feeling good enough. Maybe I don't feel, happy within myself today. So an important thing for me personally to be able to move through these down days and minimize, the negative effects is to be able to embrace those low points in life so I can empower myself to feel the joy and the happiness of my up days in life. Because a thing I've realized is down days and up days are the same. If I feel great about myself or if I feel the lowest point of myself, it is the same. All it is where my focus is, what I'm focusing on. So maybe I am, for me personally, in business and sort of my professional career, maybe these down days are just points where I'm focusing on the wrong areas or the wrong perspective to have. So, for example, in my career of what I do now with my business, and in creating my YouTube channel and things like that, there's a lot of days where you're not going to see the results. It's a lot of struggling through putting in those 1,000 actions before results come. So an important thing for me is to be able to self-regulate myself, to be able to not bottle up or suppress those negative thoughts or aspects of myself, but to embrace them. And the true power comes when we are able to embrace our lowest points to the same as we're able to embrace our highest points. Do you sort of understand what I mean? So I should feel the same within myself, be it if I'm failing in what I'm trying to pursue or achieve, or if I'm succeeding in what I'm trying to pursue and achieve. Do you see? So, for me personally, in relationships, when I feel that sense of lack, that sense of loneliness, that sense of it's never getting any better. It's not getting any better. I'm just running on a hamster wheel. Have you ever felt that way in your life? I feel that many days. And the key for me is to be able to embrace it and alter and shift my perspective in the moment. So when I'm feeling that lack, that self-consciousness, that insecurity of, in love, of not being able to find that person that I dream of. The thing I remember is in that moment, what a wonderful feeling it is to have the sort of extremes of feeling as low as I can feel and then feeling as happy as I can feel. So what do I mean by this? So in the moment when I'm feeling low about myself, what I do is I accept that. I accept that feeling. I embrace that feeling. I don't try and hide it. I don't try and push it away. Because pushing it away only represses it, only causes it to manifest in new and different ways. So by embracing it as being a part of me, by embracing that negative aspect of me, I am able to accept it. By embracing it doesn't mean that it has to be my reality. But it is a beautiful thing to feel utterly crushed by life, to feel crushed by circumstances. Because in the moment of embracement, I realize if this is, the worst that I can personally feel about myself, that is an awesome thing. For I am still standing. I am still alive. I'm still here. And that's sort of what we're going to go through today, is just that process of understanding, of being able to see myself in my lowest points in life and being able to embrace and build myself back up. For nothing lasts forever. My highest points always come down and my lowest points always rise up. So by embracing them and not pushing them away, I am dealing and processing with them, and I am able to identify why I am feeling this way. So it's through, reflection and analysis. It's through exploring those low points that I understand why those low points come about. And by understanding why I'm feeling low or feeling crushed, I am able to build myself back up by creating new stories and narratives. But also in just understanding, these are just cycles. For me to be high, I must first be low. For me to be low, I must have been high. So to understand this is just to understand that in life, there are all these cycles we are going through. And a low point in my day or my week or my month is just a point where my biochemical responses, are not or are sort of recovering. So the low days in my life are the days where I'm recovering to build back up to be in not a larger position, but to build back up to be in an exuberant state. But should I choose, and I have done this for a lot of my life, should I choose to, feel or push that feeling away, to not address why I'm feeling that way, I am just repressing and suppressing it. And while I may be able to repress and suppress it for a period of time, I am not able to do it indefinitely. Do you understand? So the more I try to repress these aspects or these moments in my life, the more I'm building this unconscious, subconscious, bottled up state to where I'm feeling anxious, to where I'm feeling stressed, to where I'm feeling, less than. By dealing with it, I am able to move through it. By dealing with it, I am able to let go of it. And that's what we're going to go through today, is that process of being able to let go. So how do I let go of, these negative aspects of myself, these negative aspects of, my day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month situation or life? So for me personally, understanding has always been the key to liberation. If I understand why I'm feeling negative in the moment, why I'm feeling low, then I can understand the process that is to be low is to be high. Just to the same, if I'm feeling ecstatic, I just have to know, if I'm feeling higher than high, that one day a low day will come. And that's okay, because that shapes and balances my experience in life. If things are always going in my favor and there is no struggle for me to do anything, if there is no need for me to push through those dark nights of the soul, my life becomes empty and meaningless, because the highs hold no meaning anymore. They just are. So what do I mean by this? If I'm always happy, I become accustomed to happiness. Happiness holds less value because it becomes a state of comfort. What do I mean by a state of comfort? A state of comfort is just I become acclimatized or used to it. So it holds less and less value. Just to the same, if we think about anything in life that we do, if I'm always going out to, let's say, festivals, music festivals, and I go to a music festival every week, they start to become less and less special. The experiences become more and more mundane, because all I'm experiencing is the same thing again and again and again. Just to the same, if I become acclimatized to those low days, and I'm always sitting in the low points of my life, I become acclimatized to it. It becomes less and less of a variable. So we need to have the low to truly feel the high. Just like I truly have to have the high to feel the lows in life. If everything in my life is always going against me and negative, it just becomes my life. I do not feel the negative or the lows anymore. It just is what it is. So to understand this is just to understand the balance between them. And by understanding the balance between the highs and the lows in life, I am able to see that it is just two sides of the same coin. Should I flip it? One day it lands on high. I flip it again, it lands on low. I flip it again, it lands on high. It's through this understanding that even if I'm in my lowest point, or what is to be perceived as my lowest point, I can still feel happy and joyous and exuberant, because it will not last. Just to the same, when I am in my highest points, I can feel loss, lack, everything, all those negative feelings, because the highs will not last. And we do not want them to last. For if they always are the same, they cease to hold meaning. Because the meaning in life that I give is the meaning of the journey, what I have to go through, but also in understanding in your lowest points, how you choose to show up for yourself is the character you build within yourself. So should I choose to always build myself up when I feel low, in any moment in life, I will choose to build myself up regardless of what I feel. Have you ever noticed that in your life when things are going good? Everything's going good, but you don't feel like it is. You feel like something's about to go wrong, and you start tearing yourself down. We see this a lot in relationships. Sometimes we're in bad relationships, but we can't get ourselves out of them. Just to the same, we are sometimes in good relationships, and we can't help but to sabotage our way out of them. Why do we do this? Insecurity. Not feeling good enough, low self-worth, low self-confidence, low self-belief, lack of self-validation. So in those moments, if I am able to validate myself and understand that this is just a moment in my life, this is not what is my life, this does not make my life, I am able to choose how I want to move forward. But also I am able to pull back and just accept it is part of the journey. Like if we think of the Bible and Moses in the Bible, I think it was 40 days or 40 months or 40 weeks that the slaves had to walk through the desert before they, came to be upon the promised land. And you got to think, in life, we are all that way, where we are walking through the desert, where whenever we are doing something, when we're pushing for goals or achievements that we want in life, and we're pushing to create our dream life, and we're doing something that is difficult, why would there not be negative days where I feel overcome, overpowered, subdued by my emotional states, subdued by my biochemical responses? So, and all this is, if we understand this, is just that if my brain is constantly releasing dopamine, releasing oxytocin, releasing serotonin, it needs time to recover, to reset. So what I've realized is the days where I feel low are just the days where my biochemical responses are just resetting. But to the same, my perspective, my focus, my attention also determines my biochemical responses. Should I choose to always focus on what is negative in my life? Should I choose to focus on what stresses me? Should I choose to focus on, what brings me down in life and makes me feel less than, lack, insecurity, not good enough, maybe self-doubt? Should I choose to focus on them, I will expand them within myself. So in any moment when I feel at my lowest, I have the choice to show up for myself, just like you do. And should I choose to show up for myself and work through it and embrace it, it just becomes an aspect of me. It is not something that is separate from me. So should I feel insecure today about who I am, about what I do, about what I'm moving towards, then, I am going to expand that. I'm going to start feeling more insecure. Should I accept that feeling insecure is just a part of the psychological construct, that if I focus on things that make me feel stressed or make me feel less than, So, for example, if I'm not seeing any results in the actions I take, yet I focus on the results that aren't there, I am going to feel less than. I'm going to start to feel insecure. So, in that moment, I have a choice. Do I want to use my internal narrative and language, and the stories and the meaning I give to my life to tear me down and justify why this is,